Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back, and let's jump right into our forecast. So, right off the bat, we kind of have, again, a pretty significant pattern here. This is pretty typical of winter to have large patterns like this all the time. We have what appears to be a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Elongated low up here with a very stretched out trough going along that. Most of it is going to be off the screen at this point. And we do have a little ridge just off to the west, off the west coast here. And of course, above that, we have a ridge pattern. So, typical ridge trough kind of pattern. The interesting thing is, as we go through time, it kind of looks like we still have that main trough pattern like along this axis, but there's like a shortwave trough right here that's like completely rotated 90 degrees, which is interesting to say the least. Nonetheless, I don't think that's going to have too much of an impact on our area. If it did, it would probably be around uh, very early tomorrow morning and very late tonight, but I don't think it should have too much of an impact. Regardless, we have like a shortwave ridge in here along this axis, kind of ironically between the main trough and ridge here. So that is probably going to lead to some nicer conditions as we head into Friday night and into Saturday. Probably more Saturday than Friday night, but still. Now, if we go down a little bit lower to the 850 millibar level, we can we do kind of see a little notch along here with that weird horizontal shortwave. But again, I don't think that's going to have too much of an impact for our area. But what you really notice is the shortwave ridge that is building in here. And also, we have another area of low pressure building behind it. But again, it certainly looks like that this is setting up to bring us some nice, calm weather for Saturday and perhaps even into Sunday. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be warmer. In fact, it's probably not. But it will be calmer, less precipitation. In fact, let's head down to the surface now. And again, yep, as we head into tomorrow, you can really see that high pressure building in association with that ridge. And then it kind of dives further south as we head into tomorrow night and Saturday morning. Pretty major high pressure system here, really. Of course, that is bringing a lot of cold air down into central parts of the country with it. So yeah, pretty much the opposite of warm. And let's actually, while we're on the topic of temperature, zoom in a bit here. And I've never mentioned it, but I wonder if anyone has ever wondered why I always click Northeast instead of Midwest here when I zoom in on an area. And it's because for some reason, I this is what the Midwest view looks like, and I just feel like choosing the Northeast view here gives us a much better view of the rest of the state, or just the state as a whole, as opposed to this view, where, the entire Upper Peninsula is essentially completely cut off. So that's why I like this view of our state better. Anyway, off topic. It looks like today temperatures are going to remain in the low double digits, around 12 to 13 degrees. Overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning especially, temperatures are going to cool. In fact, they're just going to cool through the entire morning. Looks like the coldest point, well, not the entire morning, but close to it. Looks like the coldest point will be around 8 a.m., where temperatures are going to be at or just below 0 degrees here. Through the day, things will warm up a bit, but not much. We are still expecting to be around or below 10 degrees. And then overnight, we do have another patch of zeros. This is actually still kind of evening time, around 9 p.m. here. We do have a patch of 0 degrees popping up pretty close to our area, so we could be involved in this. And then kind of moving south, but it stays cold pretty much the whole time. I think the warmest we could possibly get is right around 10 degrees through tomorrow night and into Saturday morning. And even as we go through the rest of the morning, it doesn't look like it's getting a whole lot warmer here. In fact, these zeros to our north look like they're starting to move a little bit southward, so not going to be warm whatsoever. Taking a look at our precipitation here, we do have some kind of lake effect snow going on, but it's really not going far inland, just affecting some very coastal areas. It's really not going far inland at all. It's mainly oriented kind of southeastward, and that will really shift over the lakes as we go through this evening and into the overnight. And looks like through much of tomorrow morning, afternoon, and evening. Well, much of tomorrow morning and afternoon, there should be very little precipitation across the lower peninsula, but as we start to head into the later afternoon and evening, we do get some in the upper portions of the peninsula again. But as we head into Saturday, it looks like it pretty much starts to clear out entirely. Yeah. Now let's take a quick little look at our wind. Pretty calm today and through tonight and through tomorrow. And wow, it's just calm the whole time here. And by calm, I mean lower or below 10 miles per hour. That's good. That's good. It looks like maybe tomorrow evening we get close to that 10-mile-per-hour mark. And there could certainly be some portions around the state that get to 10 miles per hour, but it looks pretty calm in the Lansing area here. So, yeah. Well, now let's take a look at some of the wind gusts. That sustained wind forecast was pretty easy, but looking at gusts, maybe we're getting up to 10, looks like 10 miles per hour tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. Hanging around there for a few hours, then it calms briefly, and yeah, some other parts of the upper peninsula get quite windy, 30 so miles per hour. There's some wind on the lakes, northern lower Michigan here getting in on some gusts, but for us, it's still only around 10 miles per hour. And it remains relatively calm through tomorrow evening and into tomorrow night, and even by Saturday morning, we're only finally starting to get in on some of that wind, looking at 15 to 20 mile an hour gusts. So really not a whole lot to be looking at here. Finally, let's end off by looking at our cloud cover maps. So we do actually have some clearings just kind of across the state at the moment. And that looks like it'll continue to be the case for a few hours, but as we head towards the evening, those clouds do kind of fill in through the state, but then they really start to dissipate as we head into tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow afternoon, look at that. Clear across a good portion of Michigan. This is around 1 p.m. Or sorry, 11 a.m. Did my math a little bit wrong there. This would be 1 p.m. So we'd have a nice clear window across much of mid-Michigan, mid-central Michigan here. And that'll last, I mean, of course, it won't be completely clear. There will be some clouds here or there. But that's still pretty good for winter in Michigan. Now it looks like some clouds start to build back overnight and into Saturday morning, but again, as we head towards 7 a.m., those clouds start to fade away again. And that is likely due to that ridge that is starting to move towards the area and bring some more calm conditions. That is all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Oh, and one thing I need to mention is why I didn't have a video out yesterday. Yesterday ended up being a busy day. I ended up having to dog sit pretty much the whole day, including the morning. So that's why there was not a video out.